Now, if you use the services of, say, Uber, Yango, Bolt, and the other app-hailing services, next week you may not have these services. This is because the drivers who use these online app services are threatening to embark on a demonstration and also lay down their tools for 1 week. Why? They are protesting certain conditions around these apps. Now, let me give you an idea of some of the things they are protesting against. For example, they claim that the app companies are using what they term modern day slavery, and they feel government must step in to deal with this. Also, they want their car owners to reduce the weekly sales from 400 cedis to at least or between 300 and 350 cedis. Now, what are the other issues? Now, the drivers say there's a rise in the death rates among themselves because of stress to do with their conditions. And also, they claim that they keep having issues with their passengers because of a lot of incentives that are given to these passengers every now and then. But I'm going to get you more details on what their issues are, why they are protesting. And I'm going to speak to some of these app drivers and also test the system to see whether really the issues they are raising are what they are. And then later I'll speak to other people who use the service and see between the two what the issues are. Are they also giving good services to the users, or the issues they are raising are not justified? This is the Citi Newsroom, and today we're coming to you live from Circle here in Accra, where we are trying to see the concerns being raised by these drivers. Are they justified or not? Stay with us. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. So like I said earlier, if you use one of the many online apps as your mode of transport, for example, Uber, Yango, or first class, for example, you may not have those services next week because operators of these services, that the online drivers, are threatening to boycott the services and also embark on a demonstration. Over what? Now let me give you an idea. For example, they feel that there are fuel price increases almost every now and then, yet the app companies reduce the fares for the sake of competition. Now, they're also saying that drivers are not paid in any form of salary from these app companies, etc. But let me get somebody who is part of these protests to give us more details on that. And I'm going to pull in TD Wise. He speaks for this group who call themselves online drivers operators. He operates quite a number of these apps, so he's going to give us, first of all, an idea in general of what is happening, and then we'll take it from there. Tidi, welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Thank you very much, my dear.
Right. So I'm looking at your statement, and you've raised a lot of issues over what is happening with these app operations. Give us, in general, what the critical issues are.
In fact, we have believed us at now to understand that these app operators like Uber, Taxify, Bolt, and the rest are using the drivers in Ghana as slave workers.
Why do you say that?
Because anybody that works have to benefit from the work, and then you so that you can make a life. But these people are subduing us. We make nothing out of a 17-hour drive in a day. You still make nothing.
You guys were benefiting so much that the conventional commercial drivers, that's the normal taxis, majority had to boycott to join you. They even threatening to embark on the protest because of your services earlier, right?
Of course, the world is growing into technology and everybody wants to find himself in a comfortable era. So these apps have come to give comfort. Comfort in the sense that a driver will drive to your doorsteps and pick you to where you are going, exact location and exact destination. And that was not done with the conventional taxi drivers. So it means that somehow it's giving you a comfort work and a comfort way of moving from your house to wherever you are going. But they are turning the whole thing around to make the driver a slave worker. Because we don't make anything out of the work. Again, The cars do not belong to Uber, as people think it is. The drivers are not paid by Uber.
There are no cars at all from Uber, or some are from Uber.
Not even a single car is from Uber or Taxify or Yango. They don't own cars. We, the drivers, hire the car from garages, or car owners buy the car and give to us to pay weekly sales or make it as work and pay. And because of the exorbitant price increase in fuel, all our finances or what we earn go into the expenses.
Okay, break it down for us. Let's say you make how much in a week?
For example, if I make about 1,500 cedis a week, which is not possible at this time, I'm paying 25% of that to the app. And then 25 of that is about 370 or 380 Ghana cedis to them. And I'm paying my car owner as about 400 Ghana cedis. So I'm buying fuel like 550 to 600 Ghana cedis to make 1,500 cedis. What am I left with? In that week, this car, a tie, I will lose a tie. I'll have to wash my car. There will be anything like any scratch I have to work on. It means that whatever you earn in a week goes back into expenses. You earn nothing as a driver. You have children to take care of, you have a wife to take care of, and you have to feed yourself in that course of the week. And these app companies takes the money from us, giving us nothing. They pay us no bonus, they pay us no commission, but we pay them commissions. 25%. We make nothing for the work we do. So we want to tell them if they don't come to the table with us, we're going to boycott their works, and people will not get a service for next week going.
But you've been having discussions with them on these matters.
Several times have we petitioned them. They refuse to listen to us. What they say is that the message comes from above.
But you signed on to this knowing that this is the situation with these app companies. It's all about competition and all that. It's all about incentives to get the passenger to hook on and all that. You signed on to all these things knowing these were the incentives we're offering, which will affect your what you get at the end of the day.
It is a lie. We didn't sign on to this.
What did you say?
Uber, for example, they have a 55 pages of agreement. We read through everything. They refuse to make us employees to pay us anything. If you go to UK, Uber is paying the drivers. They protested recently in September for that. Ukraine, the same to Canada. In London, they protest. Why Ghanaians cannot protest against them is because they are using our own people against us. Look, we did not sign on to a situation where a driver will drive 10 minutes to pick somebody, for example, from Circle to East Legon, which a taxi driver would have charged like 30 to 40 cities. Uber will charge like 21, 23 cedis. When you get there, Uber will tell you it's a promotion, free of charge. The rider should go. The driver take nothing from the person.
But they give you incentives later for that.
They gave us no incentive, and they are giving us no incentive. We are giving no incentive in any form. No salary.
Are you saying that if, for example, I took, let's say from here, this is Circle, from here to, let's say, Legon, the charge is 60 cedis. When I get there and it's been reduced to, let's say, 10 cedis, in return, you, the driver, another time or whatever, doesn't get an incentive to offset this deficit?
Not at all. Let me give you a typical example. I showed you a lot of evidence today, and that somebody was supposed to pay from East Legon to Sotium 26 cedis. The person only paid 6 cedis. And for example, Taxify is even the worst. They are practicing a Ponzi scheme, and the government should be aware. In this 26 cedis, the rider pays 6 cedis. The 20 cedis will be paid to the driver a week time, which is the next week Monday. It means that Taxify has borrowed money from me, the driver, given to that rider to tell the rider to her destination or his destination, and that the money I borrowed to the rider will be paid to me without no interest in next.
But that's the rule. That was the rule from the beginning, that they hold on to it for a week. That was a rule.
It is never the rule. They are doing it because of the competition in the market, on the market now. Because Uber is operating, Taxify is operating, Yango is operating, First Car is there, Coco Ride is there, Eshika is there, Famico is there, Rockcross is there. We have about 18 of them operating in Ghana now. And they are doing a thing so evil that people want cheap things. The white man is using African mentality that...
Hang on with that. Let's understand it. So when you pick the car and there's a reduction in the fare for the passenger, that amount of money is held on from you for a week.
Yeah, for a week.
And you get that a week later.
You get it with a deduction of your 15% or 25% or whatever percentage they are charging you. For example, Taxify or Bolt charge you 15%, and his fare is more reduced. It's out of sense. You don't.
No, but this 15%, 20% reduction, that's the rule of the game, isn't it?
It is a rule to charge me 15%, and I have agreed to pay you 50% on any trip I go. But it was never part of the rule that you will do a discount for the whole year, where a rider will give me only 6 cedis out of 20 cedis, and the money will be given to me back in 1 week time. How will I buy my fuel for the next rider?
Okay, so that's TD wise, obviously pretty upset over the issues to do with these app hailing things you see that. But we'll speak to some other more drivers and also see the issues, because there are quite a number of issues being raised. So we'll take them one after the other. When they come in, they'll tell us about their concerns, what the main issues, and then we'll take it from there. And later, we'll test the system and see whether what they're saying is really the case. I'm going to take an Uber or a Taxify or Bolt. It's rather Bolt now, no more Taxify. I'm going to try that at distance and see what charge I'll get, whether it'll be much cheaper, and then see what happens to the driver, etc. I'm also going to bring in my colleague who has been using Uber for a while. He's going to also raise concerns about what the passengers think about what the issues these drivers are making. But for now, let me bring in another driver to tell me his main concerns about the issues. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the Citi newsroom. What's your name?
My name is Anderson Kojo Emina.
Okay. How long have you been driving these apps? Which one are you driving specifically?
I drive on almost all the hubs. That's why, yeah.
Okay. So you use all of them?
All of them, yeah.
Okay. And that's been for like a year or two?
Past 3 years, more than 3 years now.
Okay. What are your main concerns with this app?
Yes, I think I'm going to mention especially the night fare that they charge the riders. It is more riskier driving at night. And that is when you pick a rider and you get to the destination and you charge very low price in a very dangerous zone. It happened to me just last night and I felt very bad. When you pick a rider at night, when we're taking the app, companies should make sure that the fare at night should at least be increased. There should be surging everywhere for the driver to be benefit and to reward the driver for driving at night.
So you want a sort of a risk insurance bid, higher rates for the time?
For the time.
You don't have that as we speak?
We don't have that as we speak.
But when you got onto this app, it didn't exist. Why now?
Come again.
I'm saying when you got onto the app, that didn't exist, but yet you still decided to join and then use this time frame as your main time of doing business. Why do you want to change their rules?
Thank you, my sister. If you work with a company for the past 3 years and you are not achieving anything, you understand, your grievances becomes more. You come out to say what you feel. You understand? So we'll be working for this app for the past 3 years. And these things, we've been telling them for the past 3 years, even telling them that they should reduce their 25%. And they told us that it's not possible.
Now, we've been trying to test their systems for a while. I've made one of my colleagues, Ebenezer Afanyinda, to test those systems. He's been using them, patronizing them forever. So he'll give us some of the issues that passengers raise. And then we'll rope in TD Wise, who speaks for the union they've created. So Eben, you've been using almost all these apps. I'm told they're about 19, but the popular ones are about 3-4. You've been using Uber, Yango, and all those ones. What are the general concerns passengers like you face when you use these apps?
So for us, the riders, I think we sometimes have concerns with the conduct of some of the drivers, you know, how they comport themselves, and also how sometimes they don't give exactly what the service provides. So a lot of these services, they provide comfort, they provide convenience, and then they provide safety, and if you like, affordability. And sometimes you don't get all of that in one trip. So for instance, comfort has become an issue because when it came fresh, a lot of them will put on the air condition when you request. But these days, none of them wants to put on the air condition. And most of them, the excuse is that, you know, the charges and what they are getting is not enough. So if they have to put on the air conditioners, it means that they are running at a loss. My concern basically, and sometimes what I'm concerned about with the riders is, in as much as the charges are realistic, better than you take a taxi, indeed, sometimes the amounts are a bit very low, and sometimes you want to wonder how much profit they are making, knowing that they also pay a percentage to either Uber or Yango or Taxify, or which is now Bolt. So those are the issues for me generally. Okay,
let's pick TD Wise response to the issue about the AC convenience, and then we'll come to the issue also about the attacks some passengers get when the fares are low. We've had to cover a number of issues where passengers were attacked because when they got to the final destination, the fare was low and the drivers didn't agree to that, so they went ahead to attack some of them. But let's pick the ACs. There are no more ACs put on. Why?
I'm shocked he's asking for AC.
Why not? It's part of the deal.
Okay, there are even two options when you pick an Uber. The thing is that you have to pay more for the AC or pay less without AC. It's on the system. So, for example, when you pick Uber X, it means that you need no AC. If you pick Uber Luxury or the Uber Select, you may get a bigger car with AC. Now, notwithstanding that, we have even disconnected our ACs from our cars because alternatively, the AC is running down the fuel, which is very expensive, and those apps requesting us to give you the AC has reduced the fare. Formerly, from the beginning, we were giving you AC no matter how it is because the fare was moderate. From here to East Legon, you pay like 30 cedis. That was okay because taxi would have charged you like 50. So it was good. So we give you AC. But now, they are charging 16 cedis, 12 cedis. And when we get there, some of you, it is even free or pay 1 cedi or 2 cedi. We will never give you any AC. If you want AC, buy some in your house, tell Uber.
Attacks. A lot of your drivers or your colleagues are attacking people over these discounts. What sort of training are you giving them? Attacking the passenger through no fault of theirs.
Yes, 2018, we requested a human resource from University of California, Dr. Campbell. He came down to Ghana from watching our first demonstration on TV, from Citi TV. He came down and gave a training to about 60 people. Out of that, many people did not attend the training, though, so we are trying to make others have the feel of the training. What happened is that the guys are running this business with anger and pain in their heart. The drivers are driving behind the steer with so much pain in their head, in their mind, and in their heart. So they can easily get accident and even die with the pain. And they can harass riders when they get in a trip is 0-0 or 1 cedi. It is too bad. It is too bad.
Okay. You're watching the Citi Newsroom. Maybe, do you have any more concerns?
Yeah, Vivian, I'm a bit shocked at the problems they are talking about. Especially so somebody is charged 42 cedis for the start of a trip and it ends with you have to 40 cedis is off and you're paying 2 cedis. I mean, that's a shock to me. Yeah. And I think that is an app problem. It could be a problem on the system. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to me because I have had discounts a couple of times, but I've not had discounts at that level. Okay. I mean, maybe I have 40 cedis and they've taken maybe a discount of 4 cedis off, so I'm paying 36 cedis. I've never had that astronomical discount. But also, I have had astronomical charges. There was a time I picked the trip, it was 25. When I ended the trip, it was 50 cedis. So I knew that there was a problem. I reported to Uber, but I paid the 50 cedis. Later, Uber refunded me, so my next trip, they didn't charge me. So for me, what also shocks me is that many people are ignorant about how these apps work. And that is what culminates in the fights that they have. Because I've never fought with an Uber driver. When I'm disappointed with the system gives me opportunity to report. Why should I fight you? Even the drivers, you cannot fight a rider because your app gives you opportunity to report a passenger or a rider.